Hi everybody, this is our next training session for MYOB Computerized Accounting. We're going to be looking at assignment 3, which is how to create customer cards, as well as how to put in our pre-conversion or historical sales for our suppliers. Now, if you haven't worked out already, once you've created your MYOB file, you need to go into, rather than going into create, you'll have to go into open and then find your file. MYOB creates a folder, so you need to go to open. MYOB creates a folder in your hard drive, so hence you need to be able to locate that particular folder. So it's a My Account Right folder, and there's your file there. You open that. There's no password required as an administrator. Now, just to speed the process up of this video, I'm going to enter in the full details of the first supplier. Okay, so we need to select this last one here. Use a company file for practicing purposes only. And it gives us access, 30 days access. We've got 27 days left to activate the account. Now, as I was saying earlier, I'm going to put the full details of our first customer's details into the system, and then I'll simply just put in the first name of the rest of the following supplier details. Only to speed the process up. You'll have an idea, obviously, after I do the first one, and you can continue and enter the full details in the remaining suppliers. So just to quickly go over that again with you, this is the command center, which is the main screen. We go to card file, which is over here, and then card list, and we're entering in supplier details. So we click on supplier, and then we click on new as a new supplier card. Okay, so the details of our first supplier is white binding and packaging. Binding and packaging. Now, what you need to do is, in order to put in the following information, the rest of the information, we hit our tab button. And this enables us to work through the different fields. The address is 1 Church Street. Sydney, New South Wales, 2000. Phone number is 9634 9914. Fax 9634 550, and the contact person is Russell. So that's the profile. Then we go into card details. Nothing's required here. Buying details. We will put our ABN number in the buying details. So this is our supplier's ABN number. Now it's not these. This information I'm entering right now is not mandatory. You don't need to put in all this information for it to work. Although, for taxation law, an ABN number is required when purchasing from a supplier for a value of over $75. And that's the reason why we are entering that information in. So there's other information that can be put in if required. So, for example, expense details. If, for example, this supplier would typically purchase marketing material from us. Sorry, if we were to purchase marketing material from this particular supplier, by selecting this here, as soon as this card is used in any of our invoices, this expense account will automatically appear. So it saves you time rather than having to drop down and allocate that particular account. I'm going to leave it blank for now. Now, credit limit is over here. So the credit limit on this in this instance is 89,990. This is how this works. Is that's the credit that is supplied by our supplier to our organisation. So we can actually purchase materials, services from this organisation up to the value of this credit amount before they stop supplying us. So that's where that becomes important. So once that's done, payment details, if we wanted to put in the bank details of our supplier, we can enter that in there. Click on OK. That records the first supplier. There it is. So once again, we then hit new and we can enter the next supplier's details in. So this one is Stephen Graphics. And I'll ask you to continue putting in the rest of the information. So I'm only going to put the first, just to speed things up, I'm only going to put the first name or the name of the company in, which is essentially all that is required in order for the system to work. Spotless Catering. PJ and Partners. Transport. News Magazine. Picture Perfect. World Travel. HP Papers. LJ Hooker. Okay, so they're all in now. Having to OK. So now, just want to check that they're all in, which they are. We should have 12 cards. Now, that's the first step. Second step is to put in the invoices that are outstanding. So essentially what we're doing here is we're making the pre-assumption that these suppliers, we had purchased items from them prior to converting to MYOB. And they occurred 2 months ago. Now, the reason why we're entering them in as follows is they are open. In other words, we have not paid these invoices off yet. Hence, we want to enter the invoice details in the system so that our aged aged payables report is accurate. So we know which invoices require payment based on the dates they occurred. And you'll see the aged payables report, how it works in a moment when we generate that report after we enter the invoices in. So this is called historical. So this is called balances. The name's changed. pre-conversion. So previously it was called pre-conversion balances. They've removed the word pre-conversion. They've just left it as balances. So to go into it, we go to setup. It's part of the setup process. We go to balances, and then we go to supply balances. So once again, we're only doing this because these invoices occurred prior to converting to MYOB. So here's the word pre-conversion over here. And we've got our 1702610. If you can recall, in exercise 2, we put in a figure for our aged payables, 1702610. So that's it here. So what we're going to essentially do now is put the individual invoices that will come to a total of exactly what we owe in aged payables. So you'll see how it unfolds now. So we'll go to add pre-conversion purchase, and we'll put the first one in. And it's for HP papers. We're going to date it 2 months ago. So this system says 22nd of the 5th, so hence it's going to be 22nd of the 3rd. There is an invoice number. First one is 0001. The total amount, 2448.50. GST automatically appears, and there's no job number. This date should be before your pre-conversion date. I'm going to override that, and we click on record. And that's fine, we click on OK for that as well. So as you can see here, that invoice appears as it should, although I made an error. I put in an extra 0. So I've just shown you how to edit if you make any mistakes as well. So very simply, if you click on the arrow, you're able to edit. So I'm going to go to Supplier Summary, and there it is. So I'm going to enter the next one in, and it's for HP papers once again. So if I just type in HP, it finds that. I do go there. I put the date in once again, 22nd of March. The invoice number is 11000001 pre-conversion, yes. And the amount goes in here. There's no cents. Click on record. That's fine. We'll put the next one in. This time it's for Picture Perfect. Date once again, 22nd of March. Invoice number is 0002. The amount is 322,860. Do one for spotless cleaning now. Of March. This is 0003. Amount is 800. So that's spotless. Now we'll put BT printing invoices in. 4. 448.90. Another one for BT. Second of March. 0014. Amount is 1045.60. Now what you should be seeing now, as you're entering those transactions, is that the total purchase value is increasing, obviously, and it's telling us that we've still got $7,155 worth of invoices to enter in. So we're up to white binding and packaging. Invoices 5. Amount is 2175. And we've got a few invoices for Hills Transport. So it's 106, 105.40. Oops. Transport again. March. 126. 150. The second one. I'm just going to check that. Okay, that does look right. We're up to the third invoice for Hills. Hills Transport again. March. 26. And this one is 100. One more for Hills. March. 36. This one's 124.60. Okay, so we've got, that's the last one entered in. I've got one last invoice to do for Stephen Graphics for 4,500 for Stephen Graphics. 22nd of March. Invoice number is 007. 4.5. Okay. So now you'll soon see that the total amount of purchases add up with our link payables account balance. So that's all nice. Click on close, click on OK. We're happy with that. Now we can have a look at our payables report. So if we go to our reports over here, we're looking at purchases because these are suppliers. So click on purchases. Now in MYOB, the first report listed is usually the most important report. So the first one here is our age payable summary report, the one that we're after. And we'll then click on display or run report. You'll soon see here that as of today's date, we owe the following suppliers, listed here the total amount of 1702,610, and they're all aged between 61 and 90 days. They were dated 2 months ago. So if they were dated today, for example, they would be appearing in this particular column, 0-30. If they were dated or if they were older by a month, they would obviously come into this column. And because in this scenario they're 2 months, they're over here. This is actually quite an important report. Now, if you wanted to further customize this, let's assume here that you wanted to look at only invoices that relate to a particular supplier. Go over here, customize, pick HP Papers, supply, run the report, and And this gives you a list of only invoices that relate to HP papers. Alternatively, if you wanted to have more of a detail of the invoices that are consisting of that total amount, then you'd click on Age Payables Detail, Advanced Filters, and once again we'll pick on HP Papers, Run Report. Now this will give you a list of the invoices that are open for HP Papers. Invoices and the amounts are there. It's quite an important report. Close this one off. Close the report side off. We're back into our command center. So that concludes assignment 3. Practice those invoices. Now the other thing I was going to mention too is I might include that in the next video, and that is how to fix mistakes. I'll leave that to the next video. Take care, and until next time.